When I try to tell people what this Arsenal team are capable of, and when I try to tell Arsenal fans that just because you've drawn a couple of games recently, it doesn't change anything. I still believe Arsenal at this moment in time are strong favourites for the Premier League. You've just seen Aston Villa lose to Everton. You just saw Manchester City lose to Man United. Also, Bodo Glimt destroy Man City tonight. Check that match reaction out. Arsenal have just gone to Inter Milan. Top of Serie A, Inter Milan. Champions League finalists last year, Inter Milan. With Gabriel on the bench. With Declan Rice on the bench. Come away with both Gyokeres and Jesus scoring. It will be the perfect headache that Mikel Arteta would have hoped for. They've gone out there, tough conditions. It's not easy playing in the San Siro. Funny enough, another result last season that Arsenal lost. Just goes to show you that the mentality is changing within those Arsenal players. Last year, they lost from a Çalhanoğlu penalty. 1-0. Handball. I'm pretty sure it was Kai Havertz. Or it might have been Marino. One of the two. But they've gone out there today. Gyokeres. Listen, funny enough, I told every single person on this channel, give Xavi Simons, who, by the way, was unbelievable tonight for us. Give Florian Wirtz, give Sesko, and give Gyokeres time in this league. They've come from foreign leagues. It's going to take them time. And Gyokeres comes off the bench, scores a goal, actually unselfishly tried to play Bukayo Saka in. And bearing in mind, Arteta now has lost two of 33 games this season. And there's still fans unhappy. There's still meltdowns left, right, and centre. I don't understand it. If that's my team, if Tottenham are top of the league, top of the Champions League, just beating Inter Milan away from home, that close to a League Cup final and have a favourable tie in the FA Cup fourth round, I would be over the moon with that. I don't understand it. Mikel Arteta made some changes tonight. Bearing in mind, they're still playing without their first choice left-back Calafiori. Mosquera comes in tonight. Don't understand it. And other than a wonder goal from Inter Milan, they could have been 4 or 5-0 away to Inter. And the best thing about this narrative is City have spent £500 million in the last 12 months. And no one's talking about it. They've just gone out to Bodo Glimt. When Tottenham went out to Bodo Glimt, we got criticised. We got scrutinised by everyone. You're beating Norwegian farmers. The same Norwegian farmers have just beat City 3-1. And I said this the other day after the Man United game. They are in a crisis. Manchester City needs to take a long, hard look at themselves. I don't even feel confident seeing City beat Wolves this weekend. And then you've got the opposite. You've got an Arsenal team that's firing on all cylinders. They're all singing from the same hymn sheet. That right now are 7 out of 7 in the Champions League, including beating Bayern Munich. And they've got Kairat Almaty, in which Arteta will make probably a number of changes. You may see Eze start. You may see Martinelli start. But Gabriel and Saliba should both miss that game. He should probably play Mosquera and Nkapie, Lewis Skelly and Ben White. Rest everyone. They've got the perfect scenario, a home advantage in the last 16 quarters and semis. If they will be finishing top because Bayern Munich have already lost the game. I don't really understand it. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already, and you let me know your thoughts. The road to 100k is well and truly on. Make sure you check out the Manchester City match reaction from earlier. That was a crazy game. And make sure you go over to the second channel and watch the Tottenham versus Dortmund reaction. And the second channel is actually very close to 10k. But for me, that is a big win. A very, very big win on a number of different reasons. The first reason being why Arteta did rest some players tonight. He didn't necessarily need to go gung-ho. He didn't necessarily need to overthink and complicate it because due to Manchester City losing, Arsenal automatically qualified for the next round of the Champions League. Jesus goes out there, bags 2. Gyokeres bags 1. Saka got his assist. Now, I know the critics will be saying Saka should have squared it. I know the critics will be saying Saka is 11 games without a goal now. It doesn't matter because they're still top of the league, still top of the Champions League in a League Cup semi-final with very, very close to being a League Cup final and have a favourable draw at home in the FA Cup. People at this moment are just trying to find holes that they can, critique in this team. And at the moment, yes, maybe Saliba should have come off a little bit earlier. But Lewis Skelly got 90 minutes in the tank. Eze started the game. Zubimendi, could have come off a little bit earlier. But you're playing against an experienced Inter Milan team. Barrea's won a Euros. Sommer's competed in many Champions League. Bastoni's one of the best centre-backs in the league. Hakanji has won a treble with City. DiMarco, maybe not the same DiMarco since last year's Champions League final because he got absolutely turned a new one. Thuram scored a lot of goals for Inter Milan. Martinez, World Cup winner, one of the best Inter Milan players in recent history. What is the critic going to be tonight? And bearing in mind, Ben White came on, Declan Rice came on, Gabriel came on, Victor Gyokeres came on and scored, and Gabriel Martinelli came on. It's actually the first game Gabriel Martinelli hasn't scored in the Champions League. But for me, listen, bearing in mind, Ethan Nerazzurri today has joined Marseille, which will be a good move for him because he will play under an attacking coach and he will get a lot of game time. And that's all you can really ask for. But for me, again, showing how strong you are from set pieces, Gabriel Jesus taking his goal well, and Victor Gyokeres coming off the bench and scoring a bit of a banger. Now, before we get into the goals and everything, 20 goals scored, 2 conceded in the Champions League. Playing Inter Milan, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich. They've played 3 of the top 10. In Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, or Inter Milan, and 9th. So they've played 10th, 9th, and 3rd. They've also played Olympiacos. They've also played Athletic Club. And the last game, they've already played Slavia Prague. The last game they've got, as you can see, is Kairat Almaty. So let's be honest, they probably will go 8 for 8. What are the critics going to say now? What are the critics going to say? Going away to Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, and Inter Milan, any Arsenal fan, in my opinion, should have taken 2 wins and a draw. Yes, you might be frustrated at the fact that you didn't beat Nottingham Forest. Yes, you must be frustrated at the fact that they didn't beat Liverpool. But you're top of the league by 7 points. You're top of the Champions League by 6 points. You're in the League Cup final pretty much if you beat Chelsea. Gabriel Jesus will give Arteta a headache, right? He will give him a headache because he has come on today into the 11, scored 2 goals. And that pretty much is all he can do. Now, Arsenal have got 3 strikers, right? They've remained their perfect run of winning every game. But they've got Gyokeres, Havertz, and of course, Gabriel Jesus. And all of them right now, I know Gyokeres scored recently, and I know Kai Havertz is only returning from injury, but they're all doing, for me, a lot of the right things. You could maybe argue Saka should have squared it the other day and Gyokeres gets a tap in, but that isn't Gyokeres' fault. He's making the right runs. Yes, he got caught up by Murillo, but at this point, it is what it is. They show how strong they are from set pieces. Saka puts a decent ball in, Gabriel Jesus scores, and he takes his, They take advantage, and they fully deserve to take advantage for the first goal. An unbelievable strike from Inter Milan, which gets them back in the game. And look, fair enough. It is what it is. And then Gyokeres comes off the bench and makes it 3-1. And you just think to yourself, a lot of the people online, the Standards FC, yes, Inter Milan might have had more shots. Yes, they might have had more possession. But Arsenal come away with more XG and come away with the 3 points. And that is the only statistic that matters, is winning the football match. And right now, they're top of the Champions League. So I don't really understand where a lot of people get this notion from about this Arsenal team. I see an Arsenal team right now that is completely firing on all cylinders. And I honestly believe with enough investment around that team, there is absolutely, maybe in the summer, no reason why they can't go and challenge again. Arda Güler has been heavily linked. But listen, Inter Milan, nowhere near the level we've seen Inter Milan recently. Only 4 shots on target. They don't look like they're the Inter Milan of recent times. And yes, you can maybe say that, you know, Dumfries and Chanoglu are out injured, but you can also say Nkapia and Calafiori are out injured. It's an Inter Milan team that is aging. You know, Acerbi's now, 37? Darmian's now 34, 35. Sommer's 34, 35. You know, and that league at the moment isn't, in terms of overall quality, I don't really say they've got too many world-class players in there. You know, there might be a debate about DiMarco a couple of years ago. There might be a debate about Martinez a couple of years ago. But I would say that there's 3 better strikers in the league right now. Sorry, in Europe right now, in Mbappe, in Haaland, and in Harry Kane, that are all better. So based off my assumption, I don't really know if there's any. Maybe Bastoni is the only one in that league at the moment. You know, maybe if I'm missing one, Yildiz looks good coming through as a talent. But there is a bit of a quality drop-off. You know, you've seen a lot of the Premier League teams this season get decent results against a lot of the foreign leagues. You know, Chelsea have beaten Barcelona. We've just beaten Dortmund. You know, Arsenal have beaten Bayern. You know, Liverpool have beaten Inter as well. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the quality, I think there is a bit of a drop-off in the Serie A now. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you soon. I'm out.